Hey, what's the deal? What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is your girl, Miss Honey. Early this Sunday morning, I am super giddy because, of course, I am here for Power, Book 2 Go Season 2, Episode 8. And I'm excited about it, right? Like, it's early in the morning. Not only do I have a long day ahead of me, but this episode was so good that I was like, oh no, I got to drop my review early today because I want y'all to spend all day, commenting down below so that while I'm cooking and cleaning and doing other stuff, I can stop and we can pick at the scabs down below in the comments. Now, having said that, if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Love for you to give me a thumbs up on this video. And of course, I want us to talk about it down below. We do this every week, right? Listen, good episode. I had been hearing buzz all week about there being a pivotal or cast member leaving, like, character is going to get killed. Courtney Kemp had let that loose, and then all of our little 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute videos about it, people were popping them up everywhere. And I was just like, and people were speculating about a lot of different things. I did not suspect who it was, but I didn't think about who it was so much as who I didn't think it could be. And I think I focused a lot more on that than who it was. And I was happy with that. I was happy with the outcome of everything. So, I also came to some realizations while watching this episode. I watched it twice, and here on out, I think I'm going to just watch everything twice. I feel like it makes you more concise and more, it helps in the detailing of it. When you just watch something one time, you're paying attention to too much and you're missing a lot at the same time, right? Like, you're paying attention to all the bells and the whistles and you're missing the meat of the matter. So, for me, a good habit is always watching an episode of anything twice. So that's what I did. And I did it at the crack of dawn, and I'm so excited and so happy that I did. First of all, let's just drop a couple of big, gigantic scabs on the table, and let's eliminate them off the rip. And we're going to do this in under a minute. The whole court situation. Listen, I don't think we should spend a lot of time on it. The reason why is because Tariq is not going to jail. Tariq is not going to jail. Tariq is not going down for this crime. Period. Tariq is our main character. It's just not going to happen. Just absolutely not going to happen, okay? Outside of the fact that the whole court thing is a farce, but I digress. Secondly, Saxe is really just here to move the storylines. He's here to drive home points and ideas, right? If you count how many times he was like, absolutely, positively, don't do this, Tariq. I was like, so yeah, we know this already. We can talk about all that down in the comments, but we're not going to talk about it in this review because it is whatever. The next thing that I have come to the realization is that Tariq is a lot like David and Goliath. Not that he is this, good-hearted, strong, ethical character type individual, or this hero, but he is, just, a young adult fighting against this Goliath, which is the life that Tasha and James built for and left for him. You know what I mean? He did have some moving parts in there, but a lot, some things that he did, but a lot of what Tariq is dealing with is a direct result of how he was positioned by his parents. And that positioning is a huge Goliath. And I thought about it when I heard the prosecutor do her opening statement, which she had two, by the way, but I digress. And she was talking about, him being a young, privileged kid. First of all, he's not a kid anymore. A, B. But yeah, I mean, he was supposed to have this cushy life, the same life that Braden has. But it was altogether different, right? It was altogether different. It may have been cushy in finances, but just remember those finances were, covered in blood and drugs and deceit, right? Everything is drug related, just like the title is of this episode. Episode 8 is entitled Drug Related. Everything about Tariq's life has been drug related, whether it has been directly because of him or indirectly because of his parents, right? I just want to say that. And then let's jump into the episode. I just want us to keep that in mind as we jump into this review / recap. Not really a recap, mostly a review, but let's do it. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Tariq. Tariq moved like his daddy in this episode. He did. He moved like his daddy. He moved like James St. Patrick. Okay. After he learns during opening arguments that there is a recording and a cooperating witness to this recording, and he learns that he's got to get Davis paid by like the next day, end of the next day, he's got to make sure Davis gets paid. It's like this disparaging moment for him. He was like, he's got so much coming down on him. And what happens is he talks to the executor of his father's estate, and learns that Yaz is up for adoption and the family that she's with is going to adopt her. And his father had put in place that once she is adopted, that all the records would be sealed, her name would be changed, records would be sealed so that no one can find her, even Tariq. First of all, can you do all that from the grave? That's fine, whatever. You can't even do all that post-grave because that will require you eliminating Tasha. So in some shape, form, or fashion, for him to do all this, James, he would have had to guesstimate that Tasha would be dead. Was he planning on killing her before or did he? How does he know that Tasha isn't even in the picture? I guess the caveat is for Tasha too. I don't know. But it was just like a lot of power being wielded by a ghost from the grave. And I found it laughable, but I digress. So he learns all of this and it kind of fuels in him this ghost James St. Patrick-esque move where he orchestrates a beautiful plan involving Effie, Braden, Monet, Kane, Drew, and GTG to rob Mecca, the Connect, right? And it's unfathomable that somebody would have robbed Lobos, right? Or even Milan. They were such brutal killers. But here it's plausible, right? Let's just go with it. And not only to take the drugs from Mecca, but because he is bringing in Kane, and Kane has to blow everything up and make it especially more dangerous, they also are going to take his stash, a stash which included a ring, a big, beautiful, giant sapphire and diamond ring. Sapphire. That he had bought for Monet, and just a huge, gigantic bag of cash, right? Well, it's a beautiful plan. It is an absolute beautiful plan, right? And it goes beautifully. It's on some old Ocean's 11 Italian Job type ish. It really should have been called Six Birds, One Stone. And Tariq is that one stone. Because when I tell you he was able to shake the foundations of everything that was going on, including those things that had their thumb on his neck, back, foot on his back, and things that were set to destroy him. With one stone, he was able to take all of these birds out. 6 birds, 1 stone. Let's get into this. Okay. So stone number 1, Davis. Orchestrating this plan and pulling it off successfully, the scheme to rob Mecca goes beautifully, right? And because he has this one bird, Davis, bird number 1, he's got to pay Davis. He's got to get Davis paid, right? And not only that, but he knows that that Monet and Kane got to pay Davis, right? Remember, Kane comes to him and tells him, you best get this money. You need to get this money. You need to figure it out for yourself how to get this money, right? So that's bird number 1 he takes out with this whole Mecca plan, right? The plan helped him not only pay off Davis, but also help Monet and Kane make their payments as well. School is the number 2 stone, right? The plan that he put in place, not just orchestrating the theft of Mecca's stash of the Connect, but also the plan that he put in place for Milgram, right? Remember when they found out about the tape and they found out about the corroborating witness, Davis argued the point that it had not been disclosed to him, which led to the judge giving him full disclosure. But he said, don't tell your client about it, because they were worried that Tariq is going to go all St. Patrick-y and kill the witness, right? Mess things up for them. That's not a reason to withhold the evidence. It is not. It's not according to the law. But I digress. Of course, Davis finagles a way of letting Tariq hear the audio. Now, he does this indirectly, so there's no way for him to be implemented. But Tariq does hear it and does hear that it's Lauren, right? So he then sets upon a plan after he has been warned by countless amounts of people that he cannot confront Lauren. He cannot confront Milgram, because he also learns that Milgram put her up to taping him. He can't confront Lauren. He can't confront Milgram. He can't have anything to do with them, because that alone is going to get him locked up, and it'll probably get Davis shut down too. So he, like I said, he's moving like his daddy this episode. But we're going to talk about that. But bird number 2, Tariq's plans, as it pertains to everything that he put together in this episode, is also going to help him stay in school. Remember, his dad said he had to graduate in order to get all of James's money. Right? With the way James is moving, I would need to know how much money is there. I'm just going to be honest with you. I would have to ask the executive, do my daddy really have any money? Because it kind of feels like James is moving from the grave against Tariq in a very hard way. So I'd be very surprised if there is money, but I digress. In order for him to get his daddy's money, he's got to graduate. Tariq's plan was to graduate early, right? And get that money and help his mama and his sister. So all of his plans, that's another bird down. The school. Okay. Plan number 3. Yaz, when he hears from the executor that Yaz is slated for adoption, and that James has ordered that not only her name be changed, but that the records be sealed. Okay. It puts him in this sets this fire underneath his arse, and his plan, orchestrating this plan, also positions him to not only have money, have resources and drugs to sell to gain more financial resources, but it positions him to get out of this trial. Okay, that helps with school. That helps with Yaz, right? Because if you can be exonerated from these crimes, okay, by discrediting witnesses, by keeping this cutthroat lawyer on the books, okay, and slaying your enemies all at the same time, it's going to position you to be in a better place to get Yaz. Remember, right before this, he had already been given custody of Yaz. So him getting exonerated from these crimes, boom, another bird, one stone, same stone, right? Let's do it. Let's see here. Okay, so bird number 4, that is going to be that's Mecca. Listen, Mecca's mentoring of Kane and his double identity has been like sand in Tariq's teeth, right? Everything that he's doing with Monet, pressuring her causes her to pressure Kane. Pressuring Kane causes Kane to go and talk to Mecca. Mecca gives him advice as to how he needs to handle Tariq. Everything that he has done has been a direct result of both Mecca and Monet. Okay, Monet put the pressure on. Mecca gives him a solution, Kane a solution. And that solution almost always involves mucking up with Tariq. Mucking up what Tariq got going on. He's hated the dude from the gate. And Mecca has just stoked those flames, right? Like I said, he's lit fire under Kane against Tariq. And his relationship with Monet is why he agreed to push all his product to Lorenzo, ultimately cutting Tariq out of having product to sell. Here we see how Tariq's plan comes out of nowhere and short circuits Mecca's current setup, right? It exposed weaknesses in his camp, okay, within his operation. It immediately seeded this atmosphere of distrust, and loyalties were questioned, and a move that ultimately gets the sexy sushi chef killed, right? Because when they go in to rob the place, and it, like I said, it was like a Italian Job, Ocean's 11 type thing. They used Effie as the decoy, and they used Braden as a decoy. Braden helped them, used his lily whiteness to get them in the door. Once they got in, they all worked the building from the inside, including Guapo from the GTG gang, who ultimately is the reason why Drew is alone, right? Because when Tariq laid the plan out, it was Kane who leveled the plan up, right? This is what he does. He comes in and he makes things kind of exponentially worse or bigger or messier, right? Go in, kill the fly, walk out. He goes in with an elephant gun and blows a whole wall out of a place, right? This is what Kane does, Okay, so he decides we need cash too. I know how we can get the cash because he had already spied on Mecca with this ring, and putting this ring in a bag, in a console, same console that we saw in season 1 of Power. Go back and look at Ghosts in those closets and stuff. It's the same setup. I digress though. So he knows there's money there. He knows there's some type of valuables there as well. And they're going to blame it on GTG, so it doesn't look like them. He's going to level it up by getting rid of Guapo and pinning it on Guapo. And he knows he's going to end up having to kill Guapo, but he wants Drew to help do some things while he kills Guapo. And Drew's like, nah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to kill Guapo. I get to kill Guapo, right? And so this is how it all goes down. It's flawless. The soundtrack that was playing, I think, was Kendrick Lamar. Yak, 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 yak. Was it yak or yak, 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 yak? Something like that. Anyway, man, it was good. It was good. It was cute how it all went down. But again, we see Mecca in this frenzied place. Like, the power's going off. He's hollering at the chef. He's yelling at the chef. He's belittling and demeaning the chef in front of Kane. Kane sees all of this. GTG's hit his stash, the airplane hangar, hits it and takes the drugs, kill everybody there. And while he goes to check on what's going on at the hangar, Drew is in the building and kills Guapo on the stairwell, puts him down the garbage chute, goes into the penthouse, and steals the bag and the diamond ring. And all of this falls back on the sexy sushi chef. Okay, so remember, Kane's in on it. He's orchestrating, he's moving in this conniving way within Mecca's team. At the same time, I don't think Mecca is completely blind to it. I just don't. It was something about after he killed the sexy sushi chef, and he said he made a couple of comments and told Kane to go help him. Kane walked off and he was smiling like, yeah, I got away with it. And I got rid of this dude, right, that was suspecting me anyway, talking about sexy sushi chef. But it was something about the way Mecca looked back at him that I was like, ooh, Kane, you best be careful, sir. You best be careful. You best be careful. Listen, it was beautifully done. But again, bird number 4 that Tariq was able to take out. And I say take out because what Tariq did with this whole Mecca plan was it helped him to shake the foundation of what Mecca had going on. Right? It wasn't necessarily Tariq's overall idea. Like, I don't think he went in with this idea, I'm going to take Mecca out too. I think he took the opportunity because it had a lot of benefits. But unbeknownst to him, he's David against his life, which is Goliath, right? Okay, so anybody can get it. Takes out Mecca. Whether he knows it or not, takes him out, right? And when I say take him out, I mean take him out of being this problem for him per se. Okay, or consistent problem for him. Okay, so we did 4. Bird number 4. Bird number 6 is going to be the Tejadas. This is what you guys have been waiting on. Let's talk about the Tejadas, okay? All right. So while it looked like that Tariq was working with Monet and Kane to get the bag, he was actually using them to fund himself and also to destroy themselves. While I don't think that Tariq had a direct mind to take out Mecca, even though ultimately this is what washed out, I think there is a part of him that knew that the Tejadas are going to be the ones that are ultimately have to pay for this in one way or another. He knows all of them. He knows how they move. He doesn't know a lot about Lorenzo, but he knows enough of what he has learned from the Tejada children about Lorenzo, just about what it is they got going on over there. And I think he depended on Kane's weaknesses in the situation, him wanting to usurp Tariq and be the overarching hero. You know, again, this was Tariq's plan. Let's just break in, steal the drugs, right? And blame it on GTG. Great plan. Lovely plan. But Kane, because Monet is sitting there and so is Effie looking good. Okay. And also he always needs to feel like he's superior to Tariq. Let me level this ish up. We also gonna take the money and kill Guapo and pin it on him. This is how we gonna do this, right? Okay, simple plan, beautifully executed, well done. It's Kane that says, let's ratchet it up a notch and make it a little bit more cutthroat and dangerous, right? You got to believe that there was some part of Tariq that knew that it was gonna be Kane. Kane was gonna muck it up, right? In some type of way. While Tariq's move wasn't the sole reason Ish went south for the Tejadas in this episode, it was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back in this episode. Okay, so let's just talk about the Tejadas real quick. He basically watered their weaknesses, right? Knowing all the players involved. Remember, Diana had come to him last episode and was like, this is what's going on in my family, point A to point Z. And I want to be with you. They even used Tariq, who's in court while this whole shebang is going on. Like, you can't get a better alibi than I was in court. Okay, they even used Tariq to get Diana out of the house and out of their hair, because all the Tejadas, except for Lorenzo, did not want Diana anywhere involved in this, because Diana loves to dry snitch. Diana loves to dry snitch, and she thinks she's superior, right? So let's talk about Diana. Diana is the main one in the Tejada bird that wanted to keep, they wanted to keep in the dark, but she ends up shedding light on everybody's mess. Okay. And her doing this positioned her, for several things, right? First of all, she wants to know where everybody was all day. Second of all, first of all, she's sitting right next to her daddy. That's where her mama should be sitting, right? Now, Monet is sitting at the other end of the table, of course, but the fact that Diana is sitting right by her dad, feels like she's making a power move, a position move to me, right? Okay, and Monet is peeping the whole thing. She's made dinner for the whole house. Then she wants to know what everybody was all day and what they've been working on all day. Like she Monet, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kids have come home from school. Now tell mom what y'all did for today. This is how Diana kicks it off, right? And she waits for the right moment when Monet, who is looking at her sideways like, you really think this your husband? You really acting like this your man. This my man. This my husband, right? She looking at her sideways. She waits for that feeling, that energy to kind of boil over a little bit or come to a crescendo with Monet. And that's when she starts dropping bombs. First of all, when she starts, uh, Drew kicks her, right? Now what she threw out there for Kane really didn't matter. Everybody knew except for Lorenzo, right? Kane changed this what she say. Kane switched the Coke out for sugar so he could be the connect. Boom. Okay. And then she goes on to the next thing. But it isn't me. But did Diana look old in the face this episode? She looked just as old as Monet to me in this episode. But you've been planning to get out of this family for weeks. You've been planning to leave us, and that's when Drew kicked her, and she was like, "Stop telling me what to do. I'm not gonna shut up." I was like, "Okay, sis, go on and blow your ish up. Now this all you got, but go on blow it up, child." That's when she got the rattling off secrets, child. Monet is sleeping with a guy named Dante, and that's when she got down to the point about the doggone birth certificate, about Zeke's birth certificate. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. What's crazy is that she went through her mama's room to find that information out. And then her mama went through her room to find some information out. It's just that what Monet had to drop on Diana didn't even touch what Diana had to drop on her. Okay. And Zeke is just sitting there like, what's going on? And then she started telling secrets. Kane started telling secrets. He told about Everett and how Drew couldn't kill Everett. Everett, my friend Everett, this is Zeke. What Everett got to do with this? Is Everett here? Everett's coming to dinner? Oh Lord, Diana's like, Zeke, what the duck? No. First of all, I called and checked on your birth certificate. That's how I know she's been cheating on daddy. You're not her nephew. You're her son, basically. That's not your auntie. That's your mama. She tells Zeke. Zeke's like, oh, no. I'm not. No, auntie. No, auntie. No, that's not your auntie. That's your mama. Auntie, you got your crayons? Could you draw this out for me? I don't understand. Auntie, I just don't understand. Baby, when I thought for sure that Monet was going to climb over that table and scratch her eyes out. She just sat there. And what? I told it all. Oh, it was so good. Lorenzo was like, you didn't kill Everett. You stole a coat to make yourself a connect. Don't raise up at me, boy. Monet, is this true? Monet, what's going on? I was like, Lorenzo. Bless your heart, honey. But like I said, everything that Diana did positioned her for being her dad's confidant, confidant, and possibly being taking an opportunity to be an in for Tariq. Remember, if she's got her dad's ear, she can talk him into bringing Tariq aboard or supplying Tariq again, right? So she kind of positioned herself for that. Secondly, she positioned herself as a target. Unbeknownst to her, I think this is going to be Diana's coldest winter ever, right? Because she, like her father, wants things to be the way that they were, but you forgetting that you grown, your brothers are grown, your daddy's been in a lockup, your mama's not feeling the same way she was feeling low these many years ago. So you looking at the coldest winter ever. You want things to be back gravy again like your dad, but it's not going to be that way. Everything you know and hold secure and dear, you just shattered it. It was already falling apart, but a lot slower than what you did was exacerbated and make it worse, Diana. Okay, this gonna be the coldest winter ever for you, and you not only made yourself a target, but Monet's revenge is not gonna be pretty. Okay, Diana is nosy and she naive, and I believe that Tariq knows all of this as well and plans to play on that as well. So, yeah, the Tejadas are our fifth bird, right? But let's keep going with the Tejada situation. The Drew situation. Why the Tejadas are our fifth bird? Because of Drew. Drew is still the weakest link, in my opinion, but his inner rage may prove to be useful, right? He intends to shoot Guapo, but ends up struggling with Guapo and then strangling him out. I mean, he just strangled him with such fury. He had that fat vein going down the forehead, and it was a fat vein on Guapo's forehead. He was like, you can't do right? Just the rage it takes to strangle someone, right? Especially a male. Like yeah. So ultimately, everything that happened today just further exacerbated the rift between Kane and Drew. I think there's going to be a showdown between him and Drew and his brother, and I think it's going to be epic. One thing about Drew is he's sneaky and he's predictable. He's got a weakness, and that weakness is right now it's Everett, but it's always going to be a dude, right? It's always going to be a dude. Be the same way if he was into girls. He's just tenderhearted. When he loves, he just loves, right? He's not out there just popping off. He's got a boyfriend, right? It's a point of weakness, in my opinion, right? Let's talk about Kane in the Tejada gang. Kane told Tariq in episode 7, he says that he told Tariq that he needed to figure it out for himself. My thing with Tariq and Kane was like, I couldn't figure out why Tariq was always so calm with Kane. Yeah, Kane is brutal. He's very brutal. He's a muscle neck, right? So Tariq can't physically beat Kane, right? And while Tariq is a sometime killer, Kane is an all-the-time killer. Like, it's nothing for him to kill. Nothing for him to get rid of a body, right? So he has to not destroy Kane, but let Kane destroy himself. And this is what he is doing with the Kane leg of the Tejada bird, right? Okay, so he told him he had to figure ish out. And while Tariq's plan sounded good and it was flawless in its inception, Kane he felt like he needed to, like I said, put his stank on the whole plan. And that's really what shifted things a bit, right? It was how the part that he wanted to play in it, getting that money and killing Guapo, it just positioned the sexy chef. It positioned Mecca. It positioned Drew, and it caused this domino effect that made Mecca's anxiety over how the chef was moving anyway just worse. His trust for his own people worse. It was just having someone break into your home and take your things is a major breach of trust. I don't care who you are. You start looking at everybody weird, right? To steal the stash was one thing, but to break into that penthouse, that just made things worse. And this is why I say, even though Kane is the strongest, he's always the wrongest. He takes a elephant gun to a fly fight every time. Just those drugs, and blame it on the GTG, they could have got in smooth, clean it out. Kane's piece of this plan is what made it made this festering mess for the Tejadas. I'm just saying. Y'all tell me if y'all agree. and put it down below. You know, once again, Kane foolishly positions himself and the Tejadas for ultimately war against Mecca. That's the only thing that can come out of here. Come out of this. Tariq let Kane do what he does best. And that's go in and duck everything up. Lorenzo has no idea who this family is. He has no idea. He has no clue. He still thinks that he can put things back the way it was before he went in. He has certainly made a huge mistake not meeting up with Tariq, in my opinion, right? Because had he met up with Tariq and talked to Tariq, he would have seen this plan. He would have, when he learned of everything that took place, he would have known that it was Tariq that was behind it. He would have known it. He would have known it. If he ever met Tariq and then heard what went down with the connect and everything, he would have known it was Tariq. Period. It was a mistake for him coming in and trying to put everything back the way it was, as opposed to looking at all the moving parts that they had going on in play already. Okay. Like I said, he's a man trying to put out his burning house with a teaspoon of water at a time, and it's just not gonna work. And this debacle at the table where he ended up having to put Monet out. Okay. Zeke ran off in hurt and pain and disgust. Diana just sitting there like, everybody will get over it. She's not even thinking that this is gonna be the coldest winter ever, baby. Has not even anticipated the residual effects of what she has done. Period. Because I thought Diana was going to use the information to I thought it was a smart idea to blackmail Monet to let her go to Stansfield. She used it to blow her family up. Then let's talk about lastly Monet. Monet never realized that alienating Diana would come back to bite her so viciously. But the Band-Aid is off. You know, Zeke is devastated. And the news that Monet is not his aunt, but that she is his mom. And also that he's 19. Not 19, but like 24. Which means he lied to the NCAA, CCA, something. Whoever them basketball people are, they think he one age. They're going to feel like he lied. And like he said to Monet, they're going to think I lied. And I didn't lie. You lied. You lied. I felt bad. I felt bad for Zeke. But listen, Zeke, nobody thought you was 19. Nobody in Powerverse and no one outside of Powerverse thought you was 19. We all can see that you 34 if you a day. You 34. Yeah. I mean, you play goofy and dumb, which I don't know why that's supposed to denote youth. That's ridiculous because kids are smart as a whip nowadays, right? Like, you're playing your character with goof and mentally challenged, right? Does not denote age. It does not. Sorry. I digress. You know, and coming to grips with the fact that, like I said, he's not 19 and his ball career is over, all because of her. Right? Storms out. This is on her back. Lorenzo wants her out. Lorenzo wants her gone. He tells her to pack your things and go. Right? And none of the kids stood up for her in this moment. None of the kids said a word during this moment. They all just looked at her like, oh, well, you just got yourself into this. And Diana was like, and when she told Diana, Bill, I'll kill you. I was like, Diana? You playing with fire, boo. Like I said, after she left the house, she looked for Zeke to explain and found Milgram to blame. Here? Huh? Are you there? She was looking for Zeke to explain. Okay. And she found Milgram to blame. All right. shattering both Milgram's life and Zeke's life. Okay, this takes us to our sixth bird, right? uh Milgram. Huh? Okay, remember, 6 birds, 1 stone, right? Tariq had a lot of things in play for him, a lot of things weighing on him, and he took 1 stone and knocked down all 6 of these birds, I think, in one blow, right? Milgram, our sixth bird, after learning about Lauren and the tape, and being told that one, nothing can happen to Lauren, and two, no one can know, Tariq confronts Carrie. Okay, he confronts her in Lauren's room, doesn't lay a hand on her, doesn't really even walk up into her space, even though she was like, he tells her real calm, real cool, real collected, like, shames her, manipulates her, tells her how she put herself before Lauren. She knew she was putting Lauren in danger. All of this to protect Zeke. It's not right that Lauren should have to testify. You should be the one to testify. And Milgram buys it. And she goes and she talks to the prosecutor and convinces her to let her, Carrie Milgram, testify in Lauren's stead. And that's what she does. And when she does it, she does an eloquent job. But Davis had already warned her. Why would she go and do that? And Davis had already warned her, right? That he was going to rip Lauren apart and use her to do it, right? So why would you then go yourself and do it? But Tariq had his game on, baby. Like when I tell you he was being more Ghost than Ghost was in this episode. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And so when Davis gets up there to question her, he just lays it all out for you. Didn't you sleep with the investigator? Investigator A-hole? Yes, I did. Didn't you also sleep with Jabari? Yes, I did. Didn't you also sleep with me? Yes, I did. Weren't you also sleeping with somebody else that they tried, that they accused of this crime, Z Cross? Yes, I did. Okay. Just annihilated her, right? When she left there, he told her she wasn't even gonna have a job. Okay, she had been exposed as a hot puss and unethical in the university's eyes, and she need to get her resume together. Okay, so she goes home and she is sitting there and she's thinking about her day and having a glass of wine and going through her phone, and she sees where the dean wants to talk to her the next day. She already know. Pack your stuff, sis. Get your stuff. Pack your office up tonight, girl, so they don't have to walk you out with that box. You don't want that. Just go to the campus tonight and pack all your stuff up. Trust me. And she hears the knock at the door, and she goes to the door and just opens it. Monet just walks in, right? Monet been looking for Zeke. Zeke is not answering the phone, so she just naturally assumed he was over there with Carrie. And they have a vulnerable moment. They have a transparent moment where Monet says, I lost my whole family tonight because of lies. You know, a lie that was told. Really a lifetime of lies that she told, right? And Carrie says, I lost my life today. I lost everything today. My career, everything. You know, my reputation, all of that. It's a tender moment. And Monet is looking at her, like I said, she was looking for Zeke to explain things to, but she found Carrie to blame things on. And she says to her quite simply, as long as Zeke has you, he'll never turn to me. Okay. Next thing we see is Zeke come in the door looking for Carrie, just like Monet said he would. Carrie, you here? You here, Carrie? Hair looking like hot cornbread. Carrie, you here? He look up. There Carrie feet is dangling. Monet done hiked that girl up on a beam and hung her. Hiked her up there like a cougar with a antelope in his mouth. Like, Monet, how you do all that with them boots on and that fur coat? How you get that girl up there? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You should have just had Tariq talk to her, because Tariq could have talked her into hanging her own self. I'm just saying. So that is the episode. Carrie is I'm assuming, I know it wasn't the chef because he wasn't that pivotal of a character. I really don't think that Carrie was that pivotal of a character, but somebody had to be killed off. Hey, it might as well have been. As far as I'm concerned, might as well have been Carrie. I would have also liked to see Everett get caught up in the sweep, but yeah. So just to recap, Tariq did a lot this episode. Not directly. He's not the complete puppet master, but like I said, he in knowing all the players and how they would move, watering the weaknesses of the Tejadas, pulling on the heartstrings of Milgram. The whole reason that she is this hot in the puss nymphomaniac is because she is tenderhearted and she is easily influenced, right? He used that. So he had 6 birds, 6 things that was just on him. Milgram was a big issue. And with this one plan set in place, or 2 plans set in place to talk to Milgram and to rob Mecca, he was able to knock out 6 stones. And I do believe that 6 birds with 1 stone, right? I do believe that Yaz is one of those birds because he is not going to jail. Not after Milgram's testimony. They may prolong it to give this season some more meat, but Tariq is not going to jail. Period. It's not going to happen. I mean, no, it's not going to happen. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put it down below. I was very, very happy with Tariq in this episode. I was very, very happy. I'm a little concerned with the fact that Effie is using her body to try to pull Tariq away from other individuals. I'm not sure yet that is because she genuinely wants to be with him. For one reason or another, Effie was giving me the girl with the red shoes. Remember the girl with the red sneakers in season 1? I know I'm watching season 1 of Power, but she was just giving me that, the way she was moving. I don't trust Effie. I think Effie's got some underlying things. Effie always pulls Tariq's secrets out of him. She never deposits really any of her own vulnerabilities. She's never transparent on her own level outside of just with her body with Tariq at all. And that, to me, is a glaring sign of more going on. Next week is going to be just as tumultuous. We have 2 more episodes. You guys tell me what y'all thought of this. Not only this review, but this episode. What do you guys think about me making the David and Goliath correlation as it pertains to Tariq and his life and the life he's been given? What do you guys think about the fact that I said Tariq moved a lot like his daddy? Do you guys think that that's the case? Did you guys get that same feeling? And also, do you all feel that Tariq knocked, at least put a dent? I mean, what happened as a result of all of this, this whole theft orchestration, how it allowed Diana to have the time and the energy to go through her mom's things and then put them all in a place where they were questioning one another, and then it just, that, all of that, whether he meant it directly or not. Like I said, I'm not saying he's this puppet master, but listen, it was his brilliant plan that got all of the Tejadas out of the house, except for Diana. That's all I'm saying. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put it down below. Listen, and until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah, holla.